This is a special series of Premed.pk short high-yield diodes which are in a shorter form. We are starting with the chapter number 1, biology and its major fields of specialization. Let's see. Biology and its major fields of specialization. Introduction to biology. It is the natural science that studies the things and exhibit the properties of life. The word biology is derived from the Greek word bio, meaning life, and logos, meaning to study. It is basically the study of life. It deals with the living part of nature and the non-living things that have an influence on the living things. The major fields of specialization. Biology is divided into a large number of specialized fields. Ecology, the study of relationship between living organism and their environment. Embryology, the study of growth and development of the embryo. Physiology is the study of functioning of living organisms. Morphology is the study of structure and form of living organisms. Paleontology is the study of fossils. Histology is the study of microscopic anatomy of cells and tissues. Evolutionary biology is the study of beginning of life and the changes that brought the diversity of life present today. Genetics is the study of genes, genetic variation, and heredity. Zoogeography is the study of geographic distribution of animal species in nature. Molecular biology is the study of structure of organisms, their cells and organelles at a molecular level. Microbiology is the study of microorganisms, which include bacteria, viruses, pathogenic fungi, protozoa. Although viruses are not living beings, they are sometimes classified as microorganisms. Marine biology is the study of life and the environment of organisms inhabiting seas and oceans. Freshwater biology, the study of life and the environment of the organisms inhabiting freshwater bodies, for example, rivers, lakes. Parasitology is the study of structure, mode of transmission, and life cycle of parasitic organisms. Human biology is the study of all biological aspects of man. Social biology is the study of social behavior and communal life within a population, and biotechnology is the study of living organisms and systems for manufacturing and service industries. The level of biological organization. It is divided into a number of specialized fields. Levels of biological organization, starting from the biosphere, the part of the earth that is inhabited by living organisms and includes both the living and non-living parts of the area. Ecosystem is a community of individuals along with its abiotic surroundings constitute an ecosystem. Community is a population of different species living in the same habitat make up a community. Population is the member of species that are inhabiting the same area. For example, a human population in a city. Species are a group of similar interbreeding animals like Homo sapiens. Multicellular organism, a living individual composed of many organ systems working together in coordination. Organ system, more than one organs working together to perform a specific body function. Kidney and bladder are two organs that are part of the excretory system. Organ, a structure that is made up of numerous tissue types of make up functional units. Stomach performs routine digestion. It has secretory epithelium to secrete gastric juice and smooth muscular tissue for contracting the walls of stomach. Tissue, a group of similar cells that perform a specific function. Cell are the basic structure and functional unit of living organisms like the nerve cell and the red blood cell. Cell organelles are the specialized subcellular structures that perform specific function and are comparable to organs of a body like mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, and chloroplast. Molecule and living organisms' atoms do not exist in isolated form. Instead, they combine to form compounds which are in the stable form of molecules like H2 and O2. Atom is the simplest unit that makes up a matter living and non-living, HCO, etc. Subatomic particles are the particles which make up an atom: protons, neutrons, and electrons. Mnemonics. Sandy ate macaroni on calculation that other 7 macronutrients saw pretty costly energy blasts. Subatomic, atomic, molecular, organelle, cell, tissue, organ system, multicellular organism, species, population, community, ecosystem, and biosphere. Bioelements, the chemical elements that are found naturally in living organisms. Of the 92 naturally occurring elements, 16 are bioelements. 6 most common account for 99% of body weight. Oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, calcium, phosphorus in order of the abundance. Mnemonic. Oh, can't he narrate charming plots? Oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, calcium, phosphorus. Others include potassium, sulfur, chlorine, sodium, magnesium, iron, copper, manganese, zinc, iodine. Mnemonic. Please Syra calls Sana, my indigo-colored mug zaped into non-existence. Potassium, sulfur, chlorine, sodium, magnesium, iron, copper, manganese, zinc, iodine. Living world in time. Evidence obtained from the discovery and study of fossil fuels has allowed biologists to take place organism in a time sequence. Life today has come into existence through phyletic linkage, an unbroken series of species arranged in ancestor to descendant sequence, with each later species have evolved from one which immediately preceded it. Every lineage dates back to the common origin of early life. Some organisms could not be recorded as they were soft-bodied, so they have not left behind any fossils. Biological methods. Biological sciences have a set methodology to tackle problems. These are pretty much the same as the methods employed in other fields of science. A systematic series of steps is carried out to solve a specific problem. Number 1, observation, made with the use of the 5 senses and can be qualitative and quantitative. Number 2, data collection, and the observations are organized into a shape of record. Reasoning, it is a way of formulating a hypothesis, and it can be either deductive, drawing from specific conclusion to general assumptions, or inductive, begins with specific observation leading to a general principle. Hypothesis, on the basis of the factual data. Statement is devised, which is tentative explanation of the observation. Experimentation, different experiments are used to test a hypothesis. Any hypothesis that is tested many times without being falsified is considered well supported. Conclusion, based on these results of accurate experiments, conclusions are drawn. Theory, on the basis of true hypothesis, theory is put forward. Law, if the theory is proved true under all tested circumstances, is considered to be a scientific law. Mnemonic, on dire request, Hina explained causes to lawmaking. Observation, data collection, reasoning, hypothesis, experimentation, conclusion, theory and law. Application of biology for the service of mankind. Integrated disease management (IDM). Immunization by vaccination has greatly reduced infant mortality rates. Development of antibiotics have led to the control of many dangerous diseases like leprosy, anthrax, etc. Advancement in medical technology, such as using radioactive X-rays, have helped to speed up the diagnosis and treatment process of many cancers. Advances in the biological sciences have helped to identify the causative agents of the diseases and the transmission modes, helping people to take appropriate preventive measures. Growing plant in environments that are unsuitable for the pathogens help in disease control. Crop rotation, which is growing different crops on the same ground in successive years rather than repeatedly growing year after year, help in disease control of plants. Food production. Hydroponic farming, growing terrestrial plants in aerated water to which nutrient and mineral salts have been added, of vegetables in numerous parts of the world has helped to fulfill the food requirements of the inhabitants. Breeders have developed improved varieties of wheat, rice, corn, chicken, cow through selective breeding using the principle of genetics. Through genetic engineering, genes for disease resistance have been introduced into the plants to make them more resilient. Various techniques of food preservation have been developed to protect them from such damage and spoilage, such as through the pasteurization of milk by Louis Pasteur. Biological control. Using biological control, pests are destroyed using some living organism that compete with them. Cloning. IDM, Integrated Disease Management, is a scientific technique of producing individuals with their identical DNA either by natural or artificial means. No normal animal reproduces naturally by cloning. Certain mammalian species such as mice, sheep have been cloned. The procedure is that a nucleus from a fertilized egg is removed and a nucleus from a fully developed individual is inserted at its place. The altered zygote is then implanted in a suitable womb where its development is completed. The new individual formed is in this manner is genetically identical to the individual whose nucleus was used. Another type of cloning is the splitting of a single egg or embryo into one or more separate embryos. This gives rise to identical twins. Protection and conservation of environment. Due to increase in industrialization, the rates of environmental pollution have skyrocketed. Industrial effluents in solid, liquid and gas form sometimes contain dangerous amount of carcinogens. If this problem is not addressed, the planet could face some inseparable biological consequences, and to combat this, several ways of bioremediation are being investigated. Efforts to protect endangered species are being made by certain creating awareness. Certain algae have been observed to reduce heavy metal pollution by bioabsorption.